Hello. This week I have a wide choice of topic to address for my midweek message. I could talk about in Ontario tomorrow it will be the election, and I can for 5 minutes tell you please go to vote, please go to vote, please go to vote. Vote for one candidate, vote for another candidate, vote for all the candidates at the same time or none, but please go to vote. There's another topic here at Kanata United Church. I could try to remind you that next week we're moving to our summer hours, and there will be one worship service at 9:30 a.m. No, and the topic I would like to address is what happened to Moncton last week. It happened after my last message, and it's something that shocked a lot of people. Regardless if you live in the area or not, regardless if you've been involved with the RCMP or you have family working RCMP police officer or a profession like these or not. Whoops, sorry, I just dropped some coffee on my desk, but that's okay, nothing wrong. We've been affected by the story, I said, Moncton. And there's many explanation that was offered. There's many specialist analysis about all those things. And yes, there's some evil in this world that cannot be controlled. Yes, there's people suffering from mental illnesses, and yes, as a society, I don't think we put enough resources in this. I guess what I want to reflect today, the angle I want to offer you, is also the accessibility of firearm in our society. As far as I understand, those firearm, those guns were purchased legally, and it makes you wonder. In 2014, how many guns do we need? How big guns do we need? You know, we're not in the time of frontier men and women that have to hunt to feed themselves and to protect themselves against bears and raiders and things like that. We're supposed to live in a civilized society governed by the rules of the law. Let's be honest, we're not living in a state of war. We're not in Syria. We're not in the African Central Republic. We're not in places like these. We're in peaceful society. How many guns do we need? Huge or what kind of guns do we need? Because yes, hunting is totally legal. That's okay. Do we need a semi-automatic gun to go and hunt for a moose? Really? And if it's for sports, why it is not kept in in places where you go and shoot? You know, in Ontario, you cannot buy beer outside of a beer store, or alcohol. You have to go to a wine or a specialized store. But gun, you can walk around in your pickup, buy guns, you know. I know we're not living in the US, and that's a good thing, because what's going on in the US is very scary. Since Sandy Hook, this massacre of 20 children about 2 years ago, give and take, there's been 74 shooting in the US. 74. That's about one a week on average. President Obama said, you know, it's almost normal. It's almost became, you know, news barely speak about it. You know, I saw this clip in Chicago when a police officer was giving a press conference about a strategy against guns violence, and they had to stop the press conference because they were shooting in the street and it was not planned. So I guess we have a lot of responsibility, all of us, because we cannot say, oh, that's just one deranged individual. Yes, there's going to be deranged individual everywhere. There's going to be killers everywhere. There's going to be criminals everywhere. That's a given. But we still have something that we have to own on this. We have to put accountability of those who are making those guns and selling it in our neighborhood, in our country, in our provinces, to almost everyone. We have to make accountability of government, regardless of the government, regardless of federal, provincial, municipal, about what are you, and asking the question, what are you doing to stop this? You know, it's very beautiful, the freedom of everyone, that smaller government and people are responsible. But how much debt do we have to take before government will do seriously something about that? How many deaths? You know, if you have a medication out there that you have 5 people dying because of this medication, you can be sure the company will get that out of the shelves and be ready to face civil class action. But guns? No. No, people have to be free. They are honest, abiding citizens. Yes, most of them are, but some are not. And that's the message we have to take, every one of us, to our elected officer, to the company around us, to one another. We need to hold this all together, not to be shocked once in a while and to talk about it and to mourn and 3 days later to forget about it and to resume our life, and then when something else happened, we're still shocked, and where does it come from? We want to understand. No, we know where it comes from. And it can be stopped, starting with us, every one of us, doing our part. And maybe that's what we are called when we're saying that we have to be involved in our world as people of faith. That too is what we can do. Jesus came to speak about the world of peace, a kingdom of God, a realm of heaven. Well, there was no killing like this. So if we're really serious about answering this call, we need to do something. And I hope this week and the next few weeks, you will find a way to get yourself involved, and cause it could be gun control or better gun regulation. I know gun control trigger all those reactions. Better gun regulation, but other things we can get involved. It's too easy to sit on our bed, sit and lay down and say, you know, not my problem, I'm not concerned. Yes, it is our problem, and it's up to us to do something about it. So my dear friend, let's move. Let's get on the move. Let's do something. Let's create a better society, a better world for all. Have a great week. Take care of yourself. Talk to you soon.